Welcome everyone to historical Huntington Beach, California for the 7th running of Red Bull Straight Rhythm. We've gone from the inland empire of Pomona to iconic Huntington Beach, the home of the Vans US Open of Surfing, the Pacific Air Show, and now Red Bull Straight Rhythm, featuring the iconic two-stroke motorcycles that dominated the 80s and 90s. Our field features some of the best riders in the world of supercross and motocross, as well as some riders that you've never heard of. And they'll be engaging in side-by-side elimination racing with only the best riders advancing to the next round. Now, when you look at all of this dirt here at the beach, you gotta ask yourself, how in the world did this all come together?
Here we are, Red Bull Straight Rhythm here at Huntington Beach. Started last Monday. We've got 10 total days. There's 10 crew working average of 10 hours a day, so we got 1,000 man hours in this build so far. The course length is 1,815 feet, 53 total individual jumps throughout the course, and 8,500 cubic yards of dirt. Bringing this course to life this year, we had to introduce Trimble. Their equipment that they're providing us with gives us the exact measurement, the exact height, the exact profile that we need. We've been able to build this course as fast as we ever have and as precise as we ever have. We've wrapped up a great big present for the SoCal fans. A lot to look forward to, a lot of positivity, and looking forward to a great event.
What is my rhythm? Well, that is going to be the key ingredient today. First off, there is no other race where these riders just get to go straight. There are no turns here, and add in the fact we're at the beach. Typically, you're gonna bring your surfboard to Huntington Beach, but today you're bringing your bike, and not just your bike, it's your two-stroke. And you will also see matchups here today you will not see anywhere else. So now let's go on board for an inside look and the Gopro course preview.
Just listen to the sound of that 2023 Gas MC250. Thanks to Justin Barsha for that ride down the track. We have two classes competing today, the 250 class and the 125 class. This is a bracketed head-to-head format. Best 2 out of 3 runs advances. And in the 250 class, we started with 16 riders. And after the first round, the quarterfinal matchups look like this. Ken Roxon moved on, our fast qualifier into round 2. Austin Politelli eliminated Chris Blows, so it will be Roxon versus Politelli, and those riders are locked into the starting gates. That will be our next matchup. Roxon has been the fastest rider almost every time down the track. Tall order for the Politelli, the privateer, to go after him. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I'm happy for Austin right now to be in the second round, but if you're Ken Roxon, you're the favorite, heavy favorite in this round, but this is 2 rounds in a row with not too much competition. You better not rest easy because it's going to get stiffer as we go.
Politelli actually is a little quicker and actually leads him to the first speed check. There's the quad.
Okay, but he doesn't do the second one. I think he's abandoned that option right there, but Politelli, what a start.
So we might have an upset in the mix. Everything Roxon has thrown at Politelli, he's been able to answer. Center of the track, huge jump, but the big scrub by Roxon stays low and pulls away.
Yeah, he's starting to speed up right now, and you can see him scrub that big jump. And watch how aggressive he is on the landing of everything. He gets back to the ground super quick. Lightning speed through the whoops.
There it is. Lightning speed to the whoops. Got the lightning bolts on the gear. The homage to Bob Hurricane Hanna back in the 70s. That's a cool look. I mean, everything, the bike color and graphics and the gear tuned to look like old school 1970s motocross. Look at Politelli, though.
Yeah, he was in it, but then Kenny, when he does this, Politelli goes, well, okay. I think you got this one. And then Kenny, I think halfway through was like, I better rev up a little bit. Austin's right there on me. I can hear him, but I love this one.
Boy.
Look at this. A 2-time 250 champ, Justin Barsha. A 2-time 250 champ, Cooper Webb. Webb's got those 2 450 titles as well. Championships on the gate right here. These are 2 of the best.
Yes. Webb versus Barsha. What's going to happen? Here we go. You just want to sit back and enjoy this one. Two of the best in the business, head to head and side by side. I cannot call it right now.
This is great. No, I don't know who's got the edge.
Got it.
Just a little bit though. Webb is a little lower right there.
Webb needed to make something happen in that big jump. He did not.
No.
And Barsha pulled back away. Into the whoops. Speed check. Whoop section. Barsha's got it. Webb tries to come back.
Oh.
That's a big one for Barsha. He wins.
So aggressive, too. Did you watch his effort in that one? He was not going to lose that. He was pushing so hard. But again, when you're aggressive like that and it works, it really, really works. So for Barsha, as long as he can stay clean and aggressive and keep that balance, he'll be tough to beat. That was incredible.
There will be a rematch because you have to win twice to move on to the next round. So this could be an opportunity for Webb to fire back. So great to have so many new faces like Barsha and Aaron Plessinger in this event. Let's get to meet maybe the guy who has more fun at the races than anyone.
It is exciting. Never done this event before. I've watched it every year. My first time riding a two-stroke in 7 years. It's gonna be exciting. I'd like to go up against Coop, Roxon, Barsha. I'm sure I'll have a run with just about everybody today, but yeah, I just need to be smooth, be smart, get a good start, and see you later, boys.
The happiest man in the pits, I swear. Aaron Plessinger, great personality, great country singer. I mean, he's no jelly roll, but I mean, who is?
He ended that interview with a laugh. You cannot get 3 sentences out of him without a little chuckle in there. This guy has such a good time. But he's up against his teammate, the undefeated Marvin Muskin, but he's got the lead.
Yeah, better not laugh in the next 45 seconds. Marvin's never even lost a single round in this, a single pass in this for AP tall order, but he could do it.
Muskin fights back, slight lead for the number 25 right now. Oh, Plessinger's still right there. Center of the track, the big jump. Muskin trying to inch away.
Marvin stayed lower right there. He got back to the ground sooner, and he used the entire landing of that big jump, drove down it. And
he's making mistakes. Plessinger's coming back.
Oh!
In the whoops. Muskin's able to hold him on.
That was really good. AP made a run at right there. Little better in the whoops, but Marvin picked it up, and a little bit of a kick out left-right, but he straightened up just in time to get it done.
That last rhythm, Muskin didn't get that clean, and that put Plessinger right back in it. Give the fans something to watch as they dash to the finish. Muskin's undefeated streak continues. Oh, this is what you wanted to see, Daniel.
Yes.
Hill versus Hanson.
Yesterday in qualifying and practice, I told you these two are the sleepers. I wish they were on the other side of the bracket because I think they could both get there, but oh well, they're racing now, so one of these two are going to get through, but this is a matchup I've wanted to watch since yesterday.
Here it goes. Oh, Hanson just crushing those rollers to start this run. Will they both quad? No, the only one with the big quad is Hanson.
Ooh, it did work a little bit that time, just not by much. Oh, look at Hill, though, coming back.
Hill's right there, maybe a slight edge. Center of the track. Hill stays lower.
Uh-oh, little hit that knuckle right there, not as clean. Hanson's got the edge right now, and Handy's been so good in the whoops.
Can Hill come back? Here it is. Hanson a little sideways, doesn't matter, keeps him pinned. Just gonna edge him.
That was awesome. I mean, look at the talent on that screen right there. Those two. Oh, I love watching them ride a motorcycle, especially together. That was awesome. The fans loved this race because of that. A Hanson-Hill matchup where they're just going back and forth. Endless talent on screen.
More quarterfinal action from Huntington Beach, California. When we return, you're watching Red Bull Straight Rhythm.
A non-motorcycle person, you ask them what's the difference between a two-stroke and a four-stroke. The average person would have no idea what that even means.
The biggest differences between two strokes and four strokes. One, you have to mix your gas with oil. That's for two strokes. At four strokes, you don't. The sound, the smell. If you've ever heard these motorcycles, you'll clearly tell which one is which.
Stroke refers to the stroke of the piston inside the engine cylinder. A two-stroke basically, it's kind of a really cool, simple engine, right? So like
for every time that the piston goes down and comes up, there's a spark from the spark plug that ignites fuel and air, which drives it down, etc.
In a four-stroke engine, one revolution is 2 strokes up and down for intake and 2 strokes up and down for exhaust, totaling 4 strokes. Since the four-stroke produces power via double the piston strokes of a two-stroke, It produces power and a much smoother delivery.
It's been one of those things where in our sport between two-stroke and four-stroke, there's always been this debate about whether it was good for the sport, maybe not. As we've moved more into this four-stroke lifestyle, two-strokes are becoming cooler and cooler again.
While the bikes have little presence in professional racing, riders of all skill levels still love to ride two-strokes.
The one thing that you just can't deny is the sound of a perfectly tuned two-stroke engine. It's like hitting the perfect pitch with a tuned fork. Ding! That sound is just, it's awesome.
The smell of two strokes are in the air as the 250s continue to battle through the quarterfinals in this head-to-head best 2 out of 3 run format. Politelli kept Roxon honest for half of that first run.
Yeah, he had a great start last time, and right about to the big jump, he was there. I know Kenny could probably hear him, and then once Kenny scrubbed that jump, got that gap, then he was in the clear. But again, for Politelli, the opportunity to race in this environment, in front of the industry, all of his sponsors watch him get to round 2, going up against Ken Roxon. Great opportunity. I don't think he can win this thing, Jason, but guess what? Keep it close, that's a win.
Roxon left side at 94.
He's doing it again.
Yeah.
He's so good in those first whoops.
Oh, a quad, it didn't work actually. Roxon cased a little bit, and Politelli again is keeping him close.
Yeah, switch sides too, because it's not a line thing. That's not why Austin kept it close last time. He's doing the exact same thing, but this is where Kenny got it. Oh my God. Kenneth, are you serious?
And look at the lead. He opened with that huge scrub. One jump made all the difference for Roxon. To the line, you know he's good in whoops, of course, and Roxon's moving on. Politelli, a great effort to keep it within about a bike length.
Yeah.
But his day is done.
It was a great day for him, though. Congratulations, Austin Politelli. Great showing, but God, Kenny looks good right now. I mean, I can't tell really yet because they all look so good, but he just seems to have a little bit extra edge. He's a little quicker. I think he's responding to each obstacle just a little quicker, so we'll see if someone could step it up.
All right, let's send it back down to Tina.
Yeah, and for someone like Kenny Roxon, he just makes everything look easy, but how intense is the racing out there?
Oh, it is. You know, you have to be so precise, and it's tough because we come into certain things with so much speed, right? You just can't make mistakes. You lose time really quick, but the second part of the track is probably favoring me a little bit right now. Just feel comfortable on it, but definitely got to stay on my toes, and yeah, you know, these other guys are going really fast too, so it's going to be no joke.
You know, this is an event that the fans absolutely love. What has it been like to come down and just have fans right here?
I mean, you hear it. The support is unreal, and I'm so stoked to be out here. I wouldn't want it any other way.
And guys, it is loud.
Hey, why not? Ken Roxon's putting on a show for them, but we're looking at lap times here. He's got some competition.
Yeah, he was really good in both runs, but man, I can't tell just by watching because it's so close, but the transponder doesn't lie. And guess what, Kenny? You better find a little more because Marvin Muskin has the best time so far today in the racing.
All right, so we go back to Justin Barsha versus Cooper Webb. Barsha a win in the first one. Can Webb defeat him and make it a run of 3, or will Barsha move on? 2 big-time players here. Webb really brought some heat early in this one. Barsha coming back though.
God, they look the same. It's like synchronized swimming, man. Every single jump was the same body movement, the same scrub. Barsha just got that little edge. Oh, that's the sickest shot of the day.
Poetry.
Photographers, where were you on that one? That was it.
Double whips together. Webb is right there. In fact, he can just reclaim the lead. Can he hold it in the whoops? Here's the run! Barsha got it back!
Dude, that was good.
Unreal! Webb had it until the last couple of whoops.
And that 35.8 by Barsha right there, that's the fastest time since we've started the competition. Marvin had it, barely over Kenny. Bam Bam gets it right there. Fastest run of the day.
So Webb put in a great run, but it was the fastest time of the day that's going to put him out as Barsha right here gets it done.
Yeah, those last 3 whoops, instead of hitting the last couple and kind of hitting that little abrupt feeling on the shot, he just skipped the top right there, just enough to do it.
Incredible. So Webb, the 2-time Supercross champ, is out. Barsha's moving on. Here is Tina.
Yeah, and that race could have been a final. Justin Barsha, we're also getting word that that so far has been the fastest time of the day so far.
I'm just having fun. It's so good. The whole Trilogy Designs Red Bull Gas team did a great job building this bike. Oh, I'm having a blast. The track's awesome. The fans are insane. Woo! Good time here at Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Thanks, guys.
All right, so what does it mean when you combine aggression and then having fun out here on a track like this?
I rode this bike 2 times before this race, and I just feel fresh and ready to go and just enjoying the 2-stroke. I haven't rode 2-stroke since I was a kid, so no pressure, and the fun factor is way up there.
Yeah, it's going to continue as you move on.
So who will join Roxon and Barsha in the semis? The last 2 quarterfinal matchups when we return. You're watching Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Welcome back to Huntington Beach for motocross style racing, but without turns. Here at Red Bull Straight Rhythm, remember it's best 2 out of 3 to advance to the semifinals. Back to the teammates, Plessinger and Muskin. Plessinger kept it close about 3/4 through their first run, then Muskin edged ahead. Can Plessinger beat him and make it a run of 3, or will Muskin's undefeated streak continue on the number 25?
Ooh, a little rolling start by AP right here. Not a big one, but just enough to get the advantage. No, Marvin was so good in those, but AP, I like that he's trying things different on the start.
A lot of body English from Plessinger to muscle that KTM around. These are identical motorcycles besides the look, but mechanically they're the same. Muskin getting away again.
Ooh, Marvin was way lower right there. That's a half a bike length at least just on the one jump. And that's what he did last time. That's his spot where AP loses a little bit of time. If Marv can be clean these whoops, he's got it.
Muskin undefeated and still keeps the streak alive against the likes of Aaron Plessinger. And that's going to be the end for the number 7. He'll still have fun. He'll still laugh. But it really comes down to this jump.
Yeah, this is that half bike. Like, they were so close. AP's right there, but Marvin just stayed lower, gets back to the ground a little sooner, and from there he had it.
And Muskin's going on to the next round, the 35.6 time. Let's send it to Tina.
Yeah, and Marvin continues that undefeated streak. We were watching those replays, and you're staying low, especially over that main jump. How key has that been for you?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta try every single bit of technique we can get, you know, and as low as we can. It's so tight. I mean, the times, everybody is really consistent and same speed, so it's really, really close. Yeah, a mistake or 2 here and there would cost you a lot, so hopefully I can get it done.
Yeah, and as we move on, the times are just going to get closer.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the level is getting better and better.
Have some fun moving on.
He says the level is getting better and better. Roger DeCoster loves that, and guess what, folks? That was the fastest time of the day, so they are stepping it up every single time they're on the track. Marvin now the fastest in the field.
Yep, he just edged ahead of the fast time Barsha just threw down. There's Roger DeCoster, the motorsports director for KTM, Husqvarna, and Gas. No stranger to 2-strokes. He raced them back in the day when he's a 5-time world champion. And as we expected, even though Aaron Plessinger's been eliminated, he's still laughing, having a great time with the fans. He is all about having fun on his dirt bike. But this is serious. Yep. Hanson versus Hill. 2 of the most talented riders in the game. You know they're both motivated to beat the factory guys. Hill takes the loss the first time around. Can he get into a 3rd run against Hanson?
Good start.
Quad. Only Hanson doing that 2nd one, but I still think it's faster to not do it.
He did.
And
He was. Hill got him right there. And Hill needs this. Hill's got to be about a half a bike length, maybe more by the whoops, because Hanson is a little quicker there. So for Hill, this is what you got to do. Get to the whoops first. Get your best run through him, because you know Hanny's going to bring it.
It's coming back just in time for those whoops.
Here they are.
Here's the final run to the line. Hill's got an absolutely blast. He cannot do it. No, he outstruts Hanson.
Wow.
And retakes the lead of the win.
Wow. Hanson put his front tire down like on the 4th whoop, but then he caught one at the end, slowed him up on the double, and Hill just got to the ground. This is why we watched the racing.
Yes.
I didn't know who had it until they crossed the line. That was incredible. The battle I've been waiting for. I'm loving it. Do it again,
and
boys. Get up there. Do it again.
They passed each other 3 times in the last 3 obstacles. The jump, the whoops, the jump. And Hill, on that final double, able to reclaim the advantage. And now pushing Hanson up against the wall. So it is win or go home between Justin Hill and Josh Hanson. And they don't have the credentials as far as big championships like the likes of Webb or Plessinger or Barsha, Muskin, Roxon have. But on this type of event, they can run with anyone.
Yeah, it's an equalizer. You got to remember those factory riders that we're talking about at the Supercross and motocross, they have factory bikes. They are, I mean, they're next level. You just can't compete with that. But a race like this where they're all on kind of equal equipment and it's a weird kind of format and different type of track, these guys can elevate to that level. So I don't think it's over for Hill or Hanson. Whichever one of these guys gets it, they can get Marvin Muskin. It won't be easy, but they'll have a shot. This might be their best shot in any scenario, racing against the likes of a Marvin, a Kenny, a Justin Barsha. Today is their chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Hill, the 35.7. That is actually the second quickest time we've seen. It's quicker than Barsha. It's quicker than what we've seen from Roxon so far. But I think what we're seeing here, Daniel Blair, is these runs are getting closer, and that's forcing the riders to elevate and find those extra tenths.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, too, the track itself is probably breaking in. I mean, you get a few runs on it. Now it's starting to pack because the track crew added some water, got the moisture in, but then there's this little bit of a topsoil that you got to kind of settle in on. So I think the track is getting faster, too. I don't think we're done breaking records. I mean, 35, 2 or 3 maybe by the end of this thing. They can do it because the track is playing a role. It's getting better.
So it's going to be Roxon Barsha in the next round. Who will face Muskin? It will be either Hanson or Hill. This is going to be good. Revs are up, gates down.
Watch that quad. What's Hanny do? Kind of over jump, but
this time he made it work.
Yeah,
now he's got the half bike length lead. So Hill's going to have to answer through this rhythm and the jump in the center. Hanson's holding him right now. Big scrub from Hill.
Back to the ground. Stays a little lower right there. He might have it back now, but
I think
these two go back and forth every 5 seconds. But here's where it matters.
Hanson's so good in the whoops. Can he use it? Oh, into the final jump, wheel to wheel.
What is it? Who got it?
Give it to Hanson.
Oh my gosh, look at that time.
35.64. He's 400ths off of Muskin's time.
Watch this. So Hanson knows right here, I'm just gonna over jump that double right to the bottom and just hope I got it, and he does by about an inch.
Incredible.
Watch how far he goes, watch how far he goes.
I can't tell even looking at the photo finish.
That's why we have transponders, because we don't want to be the ones who have to make that decision right there. So transponders, they tell the truth.
Justin Hill brought the heat that time, but it will be Josh Hanson moving on. Let's send it to Tina.
Yeah, and we are closely watching those replays. Josh, that finish, walk us through what's going on in your mind.
Just hitting my points, and then over jumped a couple things, and he gained up on me and lost a little, and I needed to kind of back up a little bit, and then I started rushing it. I kind of blew it, but we made the best of it. So we got to shaping it back up so we can make this final a good one.
Yeah, well, you're moving on to the semis, and you got to go up against.
Am I talking too
well,
early?
no, you got to go up against Marvin Muskin. Let's talk about that a little bit. What are your thoughts as you race against him?
He better go back to Alden's quick.
Thanks so much, Josh.
Okay, so the 250 class semifinals are set, but we're going to send the 125 bikes out onto the track for their semifinals. You're watching Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Welcome back to Surf City, Huntington Beach, California. It's Red Bull Straight Rhythm, and the 125 class is in the start gate for their semifinals. 4 riders remain. Carson Brown versus Derek Kelly, and Josh Varese and Ryan Morris will be the riders locking into the gates now.
Yeah, the only upset we've seen is Morris over Catanzaro. That the favorites have won throughout, but Morris is close too. These guys know each other. Again, Varese, an up-and-coming KTM rider. Ryan, part of the KTM development, so they know each other well.
Morris closer to the camera here on the 116. Little early lead, though, for Varese. On the 42, the 19-year-old from California. But Morris coming back.
Yep, and what did AJ Catanzaro say? He said Ryan Morris is consistent. He's the one to worry about. He's been so far, but that big jump right there that Varese does makes up for the mistake that he made about 15 seconds ago.
That's the power of youth right there. Mistake followed by big jump and big lead for the teenager. And Morris is in a tough spot now. Josh Varese absolutely rolling. Just got to be clean to those whoops. Final jump. Morris came back.
Hey, Mo got back in there right there. That was close. I thought Varese had it cleaner than that, but I think Mo had a good run through the whoops and made it tight, so he'll get another shot at it. He's going to have to find some speed early in the run, though, because I think he's good in the whoops.
And mentioning they do allow up to 150s actually in this 125 class, and I believe that's what Varese is on. Morris saying he's on a 125. We go back to this Carson Brown against Derek Kelly.
First time I got invited to Red Bull Straight Rhythm was 2018. I did the 125 class and didn't really know what to expect. I was able to win it that year. In 2019, I had a broken wrist. I wasn't able to come, unfortunately. I was super bummed. Been testing a couple bikes for Dirt Bike Magazine. I still don't even know which one I'm gonna race. I've got 2 that I'm riding here today, and then I'll pick which one to race. I think it's gonna be really tricky because I see a lot of technical sections here. So it's gonna be all about getting the downsides of the jumps perfect, jumping stuff that the other guys might not be able to do, and then obviously the whoops before the finish line are gonna be key. It's gonna be cool scenery. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather stays nice for us and it'll be good.
Kelly has been opening eyes all year long, but Carson Brown, we've said it over and over, really specializes in riding these types of bikes on a track like this. So can Kelly keep adding to his name by taking down one of the favorites?
Good jump by Carson Brown. He timed that absolutely beautiful. Look at the lead he's got. Purely gate drop. I mean, great reaction time.
That is wild that he can have that big a lead just out of the start. So now Kelly's really going to have to find something special.
Brown's also been really consistent all day. I mean, hitting these rhythm sections, even that mistakes, he recovers.
No, he makes a mistake
Just
there.
Enough.
And still bust out the big jump. He had to take that risk. Kelly continues to close back in, though. He's got the lead down to half a bike length.
It's all whoops. It's all whoops. Here we
Kelly
go.
might have this. Into the whoops. Brown powers through. Oh, he might have hit that line in the center. Carson Brown, he gets it as far as time is concerned. He'll have to go back and watch that center line.
That was close.
Derek Kelly, second half of the course, owned it.
Yeah, he's got to stay closer early, but watch Brown.
Wow.
Slingshot.
And it took Brown down to the wire, actually. Kelly was able to close back in, but here's that line.
Oh, I think he's okay.
That's beautiful.
It like actually kicked in, like the rebound popped, shot him back in. The suspension saves him, I think.
That's like a wide receiver keeping those toes within the line. So that's going to be a win for Brown over Kelly. We go back to Varese against Morris. Youth versus experience. We got some big jump lines versus the consistency of the veteran Morris. Let's see how it goes.
Come on, Ryan. Do it for the vets. Do it for us. Beat
Get us
this
to a round
kid.
of 3.
Yeah, beat this kid. Let's go, Ryan.
Yeah, we want to see a round of 3 between as many riders as we can. We might have it brewing here. Morris has got to step up.
Good start.
What kind of rhythms do they have here? Nothing huge, just a little bit better for Varese.
This is the one right here. See, Ryan doesn't get that triple. Uh-oh, Varese didn't get...
Oh,
whoa,
Varese,
what
big
happened?
mistake.
What happened?
He almost crashed. He crossed the center line. That will end it, so Morris will win this run, and we will have the best of 3 runoff.
That was wild because he didn't get the triple. I thought he was still okay. Looked like he was scrubbing, but then he just shot right. That was really weird. Okay, so watch Varese. Gets the triple, but doesn't get as much as he wants right there. You can see him prepare for it. And he just kind of doubles. I think we're good.
That is really strange.
You know what he must? I think he might have jammed the rear brake.
I'm thinking, yes, his foot might have landed on the brake pedal.
And just killed
his left foot closest to the camera.
Okay, we're good. We're good. You can still go 2-1.
He did.
Yeah,
I think he dragged the brake.
Jammed it,
Yep.
and then it just made the whole bike abrupt. And then, well, he's obviously DQ'd even in the other line.
Yeah.
But, ooh, that was weird, Josh.
So the brakes on the other side, it's hard to see that. He was jamming. We saw him trying to downshift at least with the left foot. The brakes on the right, but for whatever reason, that bike quickly lost pace, and then that made him go veer to the right.
But then he was fine. So it wasn't like a bike problem.
No, I think he made a mistake.
That was a manual error.
All right, so we're back to Kelly versus Carson Brown.
Kelly good in this.
Yeah, in fact, I think this is the closest Brown has been challenged so far today. He's right there.
You know how good Kelly is in the whoops, too. He's got to be within range. Got to be closer than this.
Brown triple, opening it up over Kelly. On, off, on, off.
Kelly's crushing the second half. You're right. He is way better on the second half, but can he do it now?
He's got to do it in the whoops or he's eliminated. He puts on a charge. Final jump. Carson Brown's moving to the finals.
Oh, big win. Maybe the biggest of the day off that jump. Good effort by Kelly, though. I mean, that was great, but that first half of the track, just he loses ground and he gains it back, but just didn't have enough time. Carson was great in that one.
Kelly has something figured out after that big jump in the center of the track, but he didn't have the speed he needed in the whoops to get all the way back to the win. And Carson Brown, you see the BBMX, that's Brown Brothers Racing, or BBR Motorsports, his team. His family builds a lot of great parts for mini cycles. He's a test pilot for them. And what a ride so far for Brown. Let's send it to Tina.
And Carson Brown looked fantastic right out of the gate. As you move to the finals, where would you say is your greatest strength on this course?
Honestly, I think towards the end, as long as I'm on the right side, because it's really slippery through the left on the whoops, to be completely honest. And yeah, it's going to be about staying consistent. I screwed up a little bit that first one, and I gotta get her done this next one, no mistakes.
Yeah, and consistency is key. Thanks so much.
And Carson Brown, the fans love him because how prolific he is on Instagram, riding all sorts of motorcycles. The dream for the AAO Power Sports team was to get Kelly and Varese against each other in the finals, but Kelly has been eliminated. Now it's up to Varese to bring that AAO bike into the final, but he's got to go against Mo, Ryan Morris, the veteran pilot, 39 years old, against a 19-year-old.
This is awesome. Good job, Ryan Morris, for getting to this point. You look great today, and for Josh Varese, again, little mistake cost you. You should be done by now, but you got one more shot at it. You don't like to go into elimination process, but that's where he's at now.
Little lead for the 42 of Varese. With the consistency of Morris, hoping for another mistake.
It's this rhythm right here. Okay, Varese. Oh, he doesn't do it. He abandons the triple. Oh, and Mo, I'm pretty sure he went over the line right there.
Morris then makes the mistake, so how about that? Varese has been the consistent one now. Morris not done, and he's very good in the whoops. Got to make up some ground. Checkered flag in sight. Varese over the final jump is going to the final.
Good run. Both guys, little bobbles here and there, but it's a fight. It's like a 45-second fight where you're just, I mean, the moment you drop the gate, it's so intense, but look at Ryan right here. Yeah, it's going to get him anyway, but still a valiant effort, and he looked good. Good run through the whoops, but uh-oh, where are you going?
Well, that's what Carson Brown said. It's pretty slippery down there.
Yeah.
And riders are veering toward that line.
And there's a line now that they've all been kind of using, and it's leading you there. So that's kind of scary for these guys. You better be super careful if you're on that left-hand side.
With the 125 class final set for Reeds versus Brown, we're going to put our attention back to the 250s. So the 250 semifinals will race when we return. You're watching Red Bull Straight Rhythm.
Welcome back, friends, to a historical Saturday in Huntington Beach, California. You see the stands. They are rammed. Again, 15,000 fans that have packed Huntington Beach here for this 7th running of Red Bull Straight Rhythm. And, you know, I talk about the crowd. Just a few seconds ago, the musician Will.i.am just walked by and he came up to say hello. And I was like, what are you doing here? He said, I couldn't miss this thing. This is amazing. And we are fired up. Of course, you've got Roxon and Barsha, Hanson and Muskin. For me, personally, I want to see Muskin and Roxon get a chance to go against each other, those old teammates, but we will have to see how it factors out. Also, there is a little bit of precipitation that is starting to fall. Rain, how is it going to affect the semis? Weege, I ask you, if this water does still start to come down a little heavier, how's it going to affect the track?
Good question.
Yeah.
The way these Supercross tracks are prepped to perfection, it doesn't take much to change things.
Yeah, this could be tough.
I have zero experience with the Red Bull Straight Rhythm. This is my first one. I've always wanted to do it. I like watching it. I really like two-strokes, so it's a good fit for me. I haven't rode a two-stroke since I was probably 14. I think it's just exciting. The track, it looks sick, it looks steep, it'll look very technical on a two-stroke. Definitely whoops are probably I think for the fans and for us as well, is the coolest part of the track just because the two-stroke sounds so cool in it. So all in all, it'll be a great event for me and I'm excited to get after it.
So we are ready. What an all-star lineup we have. Justin Barsha on our right side and Ken Roxon on our left. Two of the best in the game. You got the aggression of Barsha, who will just attack, 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 and the precision of Roxon.
This track's getting faster. That's the key right now. They've been getting better and better and better as the track breaks in. So there's no hierarchy right now of who's the best, who is better than qualified. Forget all that. They're elevating every time. Here we go.
Good jump for Barsha. Little lead early over Roxon.
Wow, good start. We haven't seen Kenny in this position. Oh, here we go.
Quad for Kenny. Evens up. Maybe even a lead on Barsha.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit quicker to get that first quad, but Barsha's been getting faster all day. He wants this thing so bad. He's the rookie of straight rhythm. They throw the whips. A little mistake right there on the landing. Roxon's got the edge.
Whipping it together. Now Barsha's got to get desperate. Can he pull something out of the whoops? Oh, Roxon leads him to the finish.
Ken Roxon in the whoops is ridiculous. He's just hitting like the top 3 inches. I mean, the suspension hits each one and compresses, but when you're that high on them and you're that light on your bike and on your body, you just float.
Oh, they were so close right through here. I love that. Yeah. Both scrubbing it together. But Roxon had something in the second half, and if you don't have him shut down by the time you get in the whoops, you're not getting it back against the 94. And that was a great one, but Roxon's up 1-0. They will be back for a second or perhaps even a third run. If Barsha can beat Roxon the next time out, they will go to a run of 3. This one should be just as action-packed. Josh Hanson, runner-up at this event before. Marvin Muskin, undefeated in this event. Every time he's raced it, Hanson is so motivated to end that streak. Here it is. See the rain on our camera there. Yeah, indeed, there is precipitation. Hanson, the quad. Keeping Muskin right there in sight.
Hanson's been good in the whoops, too. If he can keep him right there, stay within a bike length of him, you'll have a shot. But Marvin's just been so efficient in the first half of this race. And, I mean, we're about 3 bike lengths now, and I don't know if that's going to be enough for Henny to overcome it.
I cannot believe the speed that Muskin had in the center of the track. Hanson does have the whoop speed, though. Will it be enough? Not quite. Muskin is up 1-0 over Hanson.
Wow, this is really good because Hanson is good in the whoops just like Ken Roxon, but Marvin is so fast through every rhythm. He just stays low, and it's not scrubs. It's something different. He's just pushing the bike down, getting to the ground sooner. If you can get to the track and show that power, you could do it. See how quick he gets to the ground, uses that landing for the drive. It's just been perfect. Oh, see his body absorb it?
Soaks up those jumps.
Yes, yeah, it's not even, oh my God, he had a little kick right there, but it's not a full scrub. It's like half scrub, but more of like this body thing where he's just absorbing each obstacle. It's awesome.
It's great to see with such focus the different styles of the riders. So now Barsha on the left side has got to try to win this one, or he will be eliminated on the gas. Roxon on the Yamaha built by Pro Circuit. Barsha and the factory gas folks went to work to build a 2-stroke. That's an older style bike. They both have carburetors on these machines, and they got them tuned to perfection. Here we go. Oh, the high revving that Barsha is known for. You can hear him just twisting that thing for all it's worth.
Yeah, Kenny went a little long right there, you see, so he didn't get the perfect drive off that last triple. It didn't really mess him up, but it wasn't his best. That's what gives Bam Bam a little bit of an edge right here. Oh, Kenny!
Upside down and taking the lead with that huge whip.
He went from behind him to in front of him. I mean, it's one thing to make up half the distance. He got all of it.
Here's the whoops. An unbelievable pass by Roxon, and he's going to eliminate Barsha.
Gosh.
And you see Barsha's bummed on that one. He had him through the first third, but then the huge scrub and the whoop speed, Roxon takes the win. Look at this, everybody.
Oh man.
It looks like a crash.
It looks like he's about to fall, and instead it's used to make the pass. And it seemed like from then on, he just could not miss. Oh, even they've been like having a hard time with that double after the whoops, and he's just scrubbing all of them.
Oh, Roxon's on fire. Let's send it backtrack Sabatina.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to watch Kenny Roxon go up against Justin Barsha. Take us through that race and what it took from you to move on.
I spun really bad off the grate. Like, I didn't even clear the whole gap. So I had a little bit of ground to make up. I went really flat over the big tabletop, and he's definitely putting up a fight, but it's a little slick out there since it's raining a bit. And I think that's what hurts us on the start of it too, but we made it to the final.
What is the condition overall of the track?
It's really good. Obviously, with it being overcast and stuff, the moisture has stayed in there, so that's really good. But it'd just be nice for it not to rain so you don't have to mess around with goggles or anything like that.
Yeah, and we rarely get rain here in Southern California.
Yeah, the timing is aces of the weather here. A little bit of precipitation to just throw a little additional challenge to our riders. So who will face Roxon in the final? Will it be Muskin or will it be Hanson?
I gave a shout out earlier to Mother Nature. I said, thanks for staying away, but I think it's so exciting that she had to come back. She wants to be part of the show.
Muskin's up 1-0. Can Hanson force a round of 3? Great start for Hanson. He's in the lead.
Different rhythm.
Oh, and the quad really working in Hanson's favor now.
Remember, nobody has beaten Marvin Muskin even in a pass, so this is an opportunity to get one. Get Marv, Hanny!
He's got him on the ropes, but Muskin is fighting back, retakes the lead. Just powering on the backside of that tabletop. Hanson's got to be perfect in the whoop section. Can he do it? Into the double, Muskin a cut from behind win, and he's going to the finals against Roxon.
Wow, it's what Sel wanted. He wanted the Roxon-Muskin final. He's gonna get it. They're both strong in different ways. Hanson's like,
messing with them a little bit.
There's no corners, but if there was. Oh,
and I got you. Wow, Hanson had it, but Muskin's so good on that 85-foot table in the center of the track. And just getting the wheels back on the ground and accelerating.
Now they are strong in different ways. Now Marvin's good in the whoops too. That's a good run right there, but Kenny's been a little better. But Marvin's been a little tighter in the first half, so I think we really have a battle of the sections right now. Who's gonna be the best at the end? Both have their strengths. Ooh, we're gonna find out.
Oh, Hanson really kept Muskin honest, but the undefeated streak for the number 25 continues. Here is Tina.
Yeah, and it will be a Marvin Muskin and Ken Roxon final. We haven't seen that before here at Red Bull Straight Rhythm. You guys have both won this event, but at separate times. What can you say about that final heading into it?
Well, Kenny was the fastest in practice, so to go head-to-head with him for the main event is just great. I had a terrible start, so now it's raining, so it's getting a little slick. So on the middle gate, like, out of the box, it's raining on the middle, and I was spinning a lot, so I lost time on Josh, and I had to make it up somehow afterwards, and he's the one doing a big rhythm and I'm not. So yeah, a lot of work, but I got it done, so now I'm into the final, so that was the goal.
Thank you, Marvin, and guys, it will be an exciting final.
It's the one we wanted to see. We've never gotten the Muskin-Roxon matchup in this event until now.
Okay, something's gonna break here because the fastest qualifier never wins this race. But Marvin Muskin has never lost this race, so something's gonna give in these finals.
So the final two riders in the 125 class, they're preparing for their last matchup of the night, the 125 final. When we return, you're watching Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Welcome back to Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Okay, let's see exactly what the weather is like. Let's send it back down to Tina.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Well, right now, it is lightly sprinkling. It doesn't seem to be affecting the fans at all. They are still out here in force, but you've heard the riders talk how it is making the course slick and especially the start. But, you know, it's finicky, like it's drizzling a little bit and then it'll dry out. So let's hope that the weather holds off for just a few more races, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, because especially that start, you don't want to have a matchup determined by somebody gets wheel spin at the beginning and they're just too far back. The start is designed to be as equal as possible. That's why they give them metal grates instead of dirt.
Yeah.
But with the weather now, we're not sure.
Well, and they're not used to having that metal grate go past the gate too. In Supercross, it's behind the gate, then you drop into the dirt, so you kind of know that transition. But this thing is really long. Not only is it long, but it's got a little bit of a kicker on it, and you're dropping off a jump. So multiple things that these guys aren't used to.
We are ready for finals here at Red Bull Straight Rhythm in Huntington Beach. First, the 125 class, Brown versus Varese.
I told you earlier, Carson Brown. Go check him out on Instagram and see the things he does. He does a lot of it in the weather. Muddy conditions up in Washington. He rides an 85, a 500, whatever, but he is good when it's wet and slick like this. So I'm gonna give him the advantage right now because he likes to slide around. He's got like this posture with the way he rides where he's loose. He lets the bike do its own thing. So Varese, he's got a good shot at this thing. He's been great all day, but I got Carson Brown in this one.
Race one, Brown, Varese in the final. Little lead for Varese right now in the 42. But with the slick conditions, who can stay clean through this rhythm lane? Oh, Breeze is doing it.
Rome's looking good right now. You know, the 125 does not have as much power, so they're not going to get the same spin. I can't believe Brown went for that 3-3 in these conditions. That might be it right there.
He did it, the 3-3. Now for Reeves, it's going to have to respond, maybe in the whoops. And perhaps it is the slick conditions experience of Brown. Can he hang on?
Oh! Whoa! Looks over.
Got it.
Got it. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Where's he going?
Carson Brown almost off the track, but goes up 1-0 on Varese.
That was awesome. I'm anxious to see if he'll do the 3-3 again on the other side, because it's hard enough to do it on the 125, but to get in these conditions is crazy. Good job, Carson Brown. Right there. Lifts barely, but he just commits.
And then did it again.
Yeah. Good move.
He came up about 6 inches short both times. It was just far enough to maintain his momentum. Varese a little lower on the jump to get close again.
You're right, about 6. If he's about 9 inches short, a little bit less, he doesn't get the second one, and then he has to one out, and it's over. So high risk, high reward. He's got the edge right now, but lucky for us and everyone watching, they're going to do it again.
Yeah. So Carson Brown is 1 win away, and he almost threw it all away right there. 1 win away from winning Red Bull Straight Rhythm for the second time. This is the work the track crew's trying to put in to keep these starting grates as dry as possible.
Okay, so where's the AMA? Because I know the AMA does not allow you to go on the other side of the gate and do work. So at an AMA race, both are DQ'd right here. But we're at Straight Rhythm. It's raining.
We barely have a rule book here, let's be honest.
Wait, there's a rule book?
I don't think I've seen one. We're just here to have a good time.
He's drying it now. How come one guy gets to dry it out?
Yeah, with the leaf blower. Yeah. And then Carson Brown can do the burnout to either heat up the tire or maybe dry this tire. I'm not sure if they even know. Varese is going to do it as well.
Well, I mean, if Brown does it, I'm going to do it.
Sure, it's a cool thing
Equal it out. It's a trend right now.
They don't know. They've never tested or developed in these conditions. It's guessing they're going to wipe the goggles off for Varese. So Varese has to answer back. He's definitely capable of doing it.
Oh, yeah. He was great. That was a great run by him, but it was the triple that gave Brown the advantage. Does he do it on the left? I mean, to me, that's what I'm watching. The triple from Brown.
The win is on the line, and Carson Brown, a great launch.
He might not need it. What a start. You see the sun coming through. We might be in the clear here, but it's not this rhythm. It's the next one.
Carson Brown trying to become a 2-time champion here. Varese has a lot of ground to make up. Triple.
3. He did it even better than last time. That was perfect, and he is gone. Barring a big mistake, Carson Brown is going to be your champ.
He just caught the wave here at the beach. Perfect. 3 jumps in a row. Big lead. Just got to hang on to the whoops. Oh, and he almost throws it away.
Took the block out.
To Salute back. He's got it. Carson Brown wins Straight Rhythm in the 125 division.
What a ride. Both guys. Josh Varese, great run, but Carson Brown he brought his best when it mattered. That was awesome. In these conditions, he's special, but both these guys shouted. That was great.
I think you called it. His experience from the Pacific Northwest shrugged off the rain.
I mean, I think that's the experience, knowing what the traction's gonna, well, until here. Look at this. Watch this block. See ya.
Oh.
That was awesome. But yeah, he understands traction better than most because he does a lot of fun stuff in it, and it's a lot of playful riding, but God, that was close right there. Look over, make sure I got it. But that 3-3 and understanding the traction you had underneath you, that was a difference maker for Brown.
Brown on top of the 125 to send it back to Tina Dixon.
And in these conditions with that triple, Carson, was there any hesitation on your part?
You know, honestly, that was some of the scariest riding I've ever done because it was so slippery. And I knew that last lap going through the whoops, I'm like, I'm going to go far left. And then my rear wheel started going even further left, and I'm like, well, that's the edge. So, oh my gosh, I'm glad that worked out well because that was crazy. But man, he was riding good. I definitely had to do that triple, get her done, and I'm happy I did. So it all worked out.
To be back on top of the podium here at Red Bull Straight Rhythm, what does that mean?
It means everything to me. You know, I love two-strokes, and I love all kinds of racing. You know, I've these last few months been doing a little bit of everything, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The 2-time champ, and it came down to pull the trigger on the triple or not. He went for it. He was rewarded for it.
Yeah, he didn't even need to do it that second time because he had a good enough gap, but when you're feeling it, you trust your bike, you trust yourself, you like these conditions. I mean, these conditions are tough, but if you like it, you're good in it because you don't have that fear, you don't have that doubt. So he really went into that final run thinking, I'm just going to bring my absolute best. I trust myself. I can do this. He did it, got the big win, and that was probably his easiest win of the afternoon.
The main event we wanted is finally here. The 250 final. Defending champion Ken Roxon versus the undefeated Marvin Muskin. Who will be crowned the 250 champion? You're watching Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Welcome back to Red Bull Straight Rhythm. So we move back to the 250 division, and this is the run for third there. It will be Hanson versus Barsha. They were eliminated by Muskin and Roxon. So here's the matchup, Barsha and Hanson. Not a lot of history really between these two.
Not much.
If you look at the timing of their careers, they kind of crisscrossed. So I don't know who you're going to pick in this
look at the
one.
rain now. You see that?
Yeah.
Now, Hanson's gotten third 2 different times in this event, 2016 and 2019, so he knows the podium, but this might be the biggest challenge he's ever had for that podium. He's going against Bam Bam.
Listen to the crowd. They are loving this. Bam Bam, a little edge. And Barsha keeps it super low. Wow, Hanson is really up against it now. He's so good at the whoops, though.
To the ground.
Here they
that
come.
drive. Great entry speed by Hanson.
I think Hanson has it. Not enough.
Wow.
To take off that final double.
Yeah, well, he wheelied in the middle there and kind of got picked up his speed, but then I think he hit 1 or 2 at the end that slowed it all the way down. So what you saw was that last-ditch effort, but that little gain he made, I think, even caused the mistake right after because he just picked up his speed.
Barsha had him, and it's really raining, by the way, as you mentioned. We can even hear it coming down on the cameras now.
Oh, yeah, it was a drizzle. I don't think that's a drizzle. Yeah. But watch Hanson. Just wheelies up and then catches the last one.
Yep,
slows him
and
down.
sends it right into the face of that jump. Barsha is up 1-0 on Hanson. Cannot believe we have an event in Southern California and this is happening. Getting more goggles, we heard. I think he's trying to keep them clean, protecting them.
I can't believe it's raining.
I know.
Yeah, those ones were done. Those ones were done. It's hard to clean them, too, in the moment and dry them off. It's one thing to get some mud or dirt off it, but the water is hard. So, I mean, he's got to start fresh, get him in the towel.
Protect the baby there.
Yeah.
He needs those things. And now they're going to work drying off the starting line area. So we've got it.
What is going on?
An element. Okay, we got a completely different type of track and riders of different levels and new bikes.
2 strokes.
Why not throw in some rain here in California? What are the odds of this?
Not high.
No. So they're going to be, there's Eric Sorby there, veteran supercross rider back in the day, helping out Barsha today. And they're all scrambling. No one's ever done straight rhythm in weather.
For Barsha, he just learned what straight rhythm was like in the last couple of weeks. Just learned what a 2-stroke was first time since he was on a mini bike. Now do it in the rain, boys. Let's do it in the rain.
So here is the matchup for the podium, Barsha versus Hanson. Hanson a better drive off the start, more traction, and a big lead.
Yeah, he executed that perfectly. He gets his quad, he gets his second quad. Oh, a little short, but good enough. Got a nice lead right now. Oh,
but
whoa,
he gets
Hanny.
sideways. This is the opening Barsha needs. Here comes the big jump.
They're not scrubbing now. No. You never know what's going to happen if you try it now.
Yeah, Barsha running nose high, and a couple of those jumps not able to close. Hanson's got him covered. Into the whoops where Hanson is very strong. Barsha comes back. No! Takes sideways at the end, and we're going to go to another third run.
Let's do it again, guys. Let's do it again. And look at them right now. They're like, whoa, this is getting wild. You didn't see his scrub. You see him dancing a little bit in the whoops right there, too. So they're aware of what's happening. They'll probably even get a little better right now, but give it 5 more minutes. By the time we get to this final, this track could be really, really difficult because I think that this is the last of it being good right now.
It can't hold anymore, you don't think?
No, Mother Nature needs to, she needs to move. She needs to move along.
We're hanging out at the beach here. Don't spoil our party. Meanwhile, Hanson had the lead. Barsha gave a good run, but watch this little kick right there. And that extinguished any chance of a last-ditch effort. So Barsha wins one, Hanson wins one. You see Barsha looking over in there?
Yeah, he is.
There's his mechanic, Ollie Stone there holding the umbrella. Back to the line we go. Fantastic.
Surprised these guys all have spare goggles. They're probably thinking, I'm not going to get roosted. No. There's no reason for a tear-off. There's no reason for a roll-off or even a spare set. Oh, Mother Nature's like, yeah, you better have spare goggles because when we get to the finals, I'm going to mess things up just a little bit. And look at Hanny having fun, but I love it, man. This environment's been great all day, and why not? Just make it a little extra special.
Yeah, this is absolutely wild to have this type of weather here in Southern California, and uncharted, pardon the pun, waters to have this track get slicker and slicker with each run. And we know you make one mistake, it's done. You're not in a normal Supercross 20-minute race. You're kind of adapting as you go. No time to adapt here. Barsha, Hanson, the battle for the podium. They're tied 1-1. Whoever wins this one gets on the podium with third. Whoever doesn't is fourth. And in racing terms, you don't get to stand and collect the trophy.
Nah, fourth is no good. You don't get the trophy, you don't get the bonus. Thanks for playing.
Yep. And on a rapidly deteriorating track with the rain coming down, Hanson versus Barsha. Another great jumper. Whoa.
Barsha almost fell off the top of that thing. Yes. He spun late. Oh, and now in his situation, he has to send it on a... Oh,
and
Hanson!
Hanson a mistake, and Barsha's now back in the lead.
The quad, which has been so consistent for him in this environment, that changed, and now Barsha has an opportunity, I wouldn't say to cruise it in, but he could be really solid, really efficient, and just ride this thing to the finish line.
Is this the conditions? You think that's what it is?
100%.
Yeah.
Look at Hanson knows it. It's over. Bam, bam. Welcome to Straight Rhythm. You're on the podium.
Just got to hang on to the whoops. And Justin Barsha takes the podium at Straight Rhythm. And they both made mistakes because of the slick conditions. Barsha off the start, and Hanson's ace, that big rhythm, couldn't get it clean when it got slick, and Barsha hangs on.
Yeah, watch Barsha. Yeah, to the left, to the right, loops out a little bit to the right. And now at this point, you're like, gosh, what am I going to do? I have to send it. I'm going to have to give it everything I got on a track that I'm probably a little concerned with. But then Josh Hanson makes the big mistake, can't get the rhythm, name of the game, Straight Rhythm.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Oh, see, he just didn't get the drive. I mean, he's just spinning up the lip of that thing. And, I mean, it takes everything from power to traction to your suspension working right. You lose the traction, it changes everything. So for Hanson, the thing that he had a little advantage there early completely went away.
My experience with this event, you watch it on TV and it all looks so easy, but as a rider's perspective, we get to see the track pretty much head on. It always looks so easy from the outside, but it is no joke, not to mention that we're on bikes that we're normally not used to with the whole two-stroke thing. We usually ride four strokes, so there's a lot getting thrown at us. What makes this event so special is that you're up against your competitor, but you have to be so precise and so clean because we're coming at it with so much speed into these obstacles that you sometimes have to slow down and kind of take your time and be patient, because when you clip stuff, that's when you're not able to do some of these rhythms, and that's what costs a lot of time. One thing about this event as well, what is so cool is for riders, we get to do themed dirt bikes. We've seen a lot of cool stuff over the past few years of replicas from a long time ago, and I feel like everybody can kind of let their artsy side out a little bit, and truly makes it special.
My history about this event is that I never lost a run. Every time I compete here, I won every single run, so it's very special for me. I haven't raced in a few years, and going on the two-stroke for me is completely new, so the adrenaline will build up going into this event. Riding on the four-stroke was just natural for me, and I never lost a run, but on the two-stroke, we'll see how it goes.
Well, here it is, the most anticipated matchup in Red Bull Straight Rhythm. Ken Roxon won the last time we've raced. Marvin Muskin, though, did not compete in 2019. Marvin Muskin, though, has won every time he has been in this event. Now we finally get them in the same year, head-to-head. The Frenchman and the German, they go way back. They grew up racing each other in Europe. They were teammates for KTM for a long, long time. Whose skills are going to come out on top? And Muskin, their early edge.
Yeah, so everything has changed since the last time they were on the track, but Marvin's always been better in the first half, super clean, tight, efficient. Kenny's had the whoop speed, but now with the moisture, the rain, I don't know if the whoops are going to be the same. I mean, either Kenny's going to just blow by him with something special, or he's not going to have that power, or he's going to be too far behind. I mean, God, Marvin.
Unbelievable, Marvin. Oh, no, Roxon's trying to power down now, trying to get close enough to be in striking distance. He's so good in the whoops. Can he pull off the comeback effort? No, Marvin throws down and wins the first run.
Okay, so this is good because Marvin was definitely more aggressive. He looked like he was just going to go for it. Kenny actually looked a little more patient, like, let me figure this out. Now, I don't know if that was strategy or just situation, but if you're Roxon now, you do know what's underneath you. You can be better than you were in that run. So I don't think this is over. But Marvin does have the advantage confidence-wise, performance-wise going into this next round. But I don't think Kenny gave his absolute best. I think he was trying to feel what's underneath him, and now he knows.
So Muskin's streak of never having lost a single run at Red Bull Straight Rhythm continues. If he gets one more, he is champion for the 4th time. Once in the small bike class, and it would be 3 times in the big bike division here. But Roxon got a lot closer at the end than it was the majority of that run. He knows he has those whoops.
Kenny was really bad out of the start, too. He slid, kind of lost. I mean, Marvin had a good 3 bike length lead by the end of the first roller. So if you're Kenny right now, you're like, let me get out of the gate a little better. If I could be at your rear tire, I know I'm better in the second half. So watch Roxon in the first half of this run, especially out of the gate. If he can be nice and clean, nice and efficient, don't lose that range, that's where he'll have his chance. But if he blows it early, Marvin's just so perfect out there. Might be too much to overcome.
So is this a reaction to the rain, you think, that Roxon maybe took a little edge off, thinking there would be less traction?
Possibly. I mean, he had such a bad start. He's shaking his head. So I think you go off the start, you slide, you have a bad first 10 seconds, and you're like, wait a minute, what's underneath me? Halfway through, he goes, oh, I'm okay. So I think this should be better, but his back's against the wall. I mean, that's a really high-pressure situation now for Kenny, because if you lose this one, it's all over. At least get one and take this to a 3rd round.
No one has ever beaten Marvin Muskin in even a single run at Red Bull Straight Rhythm, but Ken Roxon is as capable as anyone of getting it done, and he has to. Here it is, the anticipated matchup, Muskin, Roxon. It's all the line.
Way better by Kenny. Little slide, but way better than the last one.
Yeah, in fact, now he might even be in the lead in a big scrub on that speed check. So Roxon is fighting back big time.
See, he looks more aggressive. The last run through there, it's almost like he was oh, you see him scrub and take some of the dirt off the top.
And because of that, Muskin extends it just a little bit. So Roxon is going to have to be good on this jump and maybe pull something out of the whoops again.
He's close enough. He's close enough. Scrub this last single and just go for it. This might be the end. We might be done.
Can Roxon get back to him? I don't think it's going to happen. The undefeated streak continues.
Marvin,
the champion.
Marvin Muskin.
Unbelievable.
He cannot be stopped.
2-0 over Roxon, who was the fast qualifier. Incredible how Marvin Muskin's technique lends itself to this event. He's never lost, and he keeps it alive. Love to hear the bench race between them. We'll send it down to Tina when they're ready.
Well, they're just talking about the race down here. Marvin, you are perfect here at Red Bull Straight Rhythm. You kept your streak on a 2-stroke. What does it mean to you?
Well, I got to be honest with you. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a lot harder than that. Obviously, the rain played a lot of factors. Kenny was really, really fast all day. I think the rain, but I mean, it's the same for everybody, but the rain changed a lot of things. A lot of work behind the gate over there with my guys. But yeah, it's a cool event thanks to Red Bull. We made it happen even with the rain. So yeah, never lost a run again.
You know, overall, just such an enjoyable event for the fans and also the riders. Kenny, I got to get you in here. Take us through those races for you. You guys were battling some tough conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the rain changed up everything. Both of my starts were terrible. And then once we came over the first wall, that rhythm section, I was quadding all day, and I haven't done the on-off in that segment at all. So I just, timing-wise, my timing was horrible in there, and I lost so much ground. And obviously the rain, it just changed a lot of things. This race is all about scrubbing and staying low, and this was a little sketchy, something different, that's for sure.
But overall, to be part of Red Bull Straight Rhythm and in that final race, matching up against Marvin, how do you describe that?
Oh, it was great. I wish we could have raced with good conditions. You know, this is what this event is all about, but obviously it's the same for everybody. I just broke so much traction on the start and got squirrely. But yeah, I just didn't have it with the rain.
Well, it was the race that everyone wanted to see.
We are just here basking in what has been an incredible 7th running of Red Bull Straight Rhythm. You know, we talked about it at the top of the show. What would it be like if we got to see Muskin and Roxon, the former KTM teammates, as they were in the opposite end of the draw? What would it be like if they face each other? And you heard Ken Roxon say that at the end. You could see, like, this is all fun and games, but he's seething just a little bit. He said, hey, I really wish that we could have had regular race conditions. And as a resident of Southern California who can't even remember the last time I saw rain, you know, it's just that X factor. You just never know with Mother Nature. This first time here at Huntington Beach, and the rain decides to show up. But an incredible day of racing. Carson Brown putting on a great show, top to bottom, and Marvin Muskin, you heard him say, I hadn't been here in a few years. Excited to see if I still had it, and dancing on that 125. And I mean, it's just an incredible streak. Never has lost a race, not in qualifying, not in any runs. See him get some love with the family. You can hear him talking about the goggles. There they are, side by side, coming over the 85-footer. Ken Roxon, you can see, just struggling with that grip. I mean, both riders doing what they could with it. But Muskin able to use his body weight and feel as he traditionally has to, again, remain undefeated. Take out the defending champ in Ken Roxon. And we remain where Roxon was our #1 qualifier, and historically at Red Bull Straight Rhythm, the #1 qualifier has never come back to win in the 250 class, and that stays consistent here at Straight Rhythm.
The stars of the sport that we see in a certain environment all the time, and they are the best of the best. They are so incredible, but so many layers to this. 2 strokes, Straight Rhythm, location. Hey, rain.
Yeah.
It's like we threw it all at them, and they all brought their best in the moments that mattered. That was a blast.
And this crowd, you know, you forget, this is an educated moto crowd.
Yeah.
They're out here at Anaheim's 15 minutes away, right? So they're getting this bonus in the off season. These guys are coming to town. It was truly special. Let's take a look at the highlights from what we saw today.
And you see Carson Brown there, yeah, the 125 winner, and that was a great one as well. So that's that matchup we wanted to see, right? Muskin versus Roxon. And Daniel, you think the slick conditions might have played a factor where Roxon is trying to adjust?
I think so. I mean, he was so good all day, and these 2 runs were the 2 where he looked a little out of sorts. And Marvin didn't change a thing. He was just as good as he was all day, where Kenny, I think, just he dropped down a little bit.
I think in that first race, right from the start, you could tell that Kenny was almost surprised that Muskin came out the gate as hard as he did, and he had to play catch-up.
So we knew in round 2 Roxon would be stronger, and he was. It was closer, but Muskin heel clicks his way, like he's done now 3 times in the top class of this event, to victory, and he's still, Salema, undefeated. Never been beaten.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
We were talking, you know, right when you guys rolled up, I said Roxon was #1 qualifier. We talked before the show. #1 qualifier has never won. And there you see.
Wow. Hey, you know what? We need to get James back out here. He's undefeated too.
Yeah,
Maybe
Bubba.
that's the only guy. Get back out here and take on Marvin Muskin. That might be the only other guy that Muskin hasn't taken down yet. I'll be here for that. All right, let's,
if he dusted it off, that would be all time. I think we know some people who could make that happen.
Okay.
125s.
So we ended up with the Varese versus Brown, and Varese really kept Brown honest, but it's right here, Daniel, the whoops, but it was the triple that set that up.
Yeah, Carson Brown is great. Again, I hyped up his Instagram because y'all need to see it. It's really enjoyable. I go on there sometimes and just scroll through and watch old videos, but I knew that in these conditions he would be like, what? I'm from Washington. I do this all the time, and for Varese, I had to imagine he's in there in the start going, this is going to be a taller order than I thought, and it was.
And there's Carson Brown's final margin, but to keep it interesting,
you get extra points. Extra points for the block, right?
Bonus point.
Yeah, and there is Brown's final run through the finish to win. 2 times, as you see in the 125 class. He's been the champion of this event. You see Muskin even got a victory in this class back in the early days of the event. So Carson Brown, yeah, half the time you watch his Instagram videos, he's riding in the rain, and that really paid off for him. And a good run for Varize, who's one of the young up-and-coming riders. So I kind of pumped, Daniel, for Varize and also Derek Kelly to, as their up-and-coming riders, have a little notch on the resume here and show they can do this.
Yeah, great showing for AEO too. They're building that team. It's getting bigger and better every year. They're keeping that team together. So it's rad for them to come out and not only put on a good showing, but get the results. It's fun to put it on paper. You go back to the sponsors and go, look what our guys are doing. They had a great Supercross season, a great motocross season. Look what we're doing at these fun events too. We're building, we're getting better, and they obviously are. So it's huge for them, but it's also huge for the team.
There's Roxon second, and Marvin Muskin cresting the wave there with that trophy. He did it, and this is Marv, who people keep thinking the clock is ticking on his career, but Daniel, he keeps winning, and they can't stop him from racing because he keeps riding well.
No, and think about last year. You go into the season, you're thinking, oh, Marv's on his way out. He gets a win for the KTM team, and now he does this. So everyone going into 2023 Supercross, if you're sleeping on Marvin, you're silly. He's still got it. He might be as good as ever.
Boys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks to all of you around the world that have chosen to join us here at the beach today, making history in Huntington Beach at this 7th running of Straight Rhythm. For our entire production team, including these guys to my left, Jason Wagon, Daniel Blair, the one and only Tina Dixon. My name is Salema Masakela, and we will see you in Southern Utah. Thanks for watching, and take care.